It's not even Mercury retrograde.
I
Hello,
know.
right? Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium, and I have my good friend Aubrey here, who is an astrologer and a psychic and a medium. She and an author. Let's just look. She's got a lot of great things going on, and I'm so glad that you joined us. How are you, Aubrey?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm excited to be on here with you. We have done this before, and it was a
Yes.
lot of fun. And we decided to do it again because we all need a little help, right? Especially now with things that are going on. And I just want to say that before we get started, I'm going to put Aubrey's information in the chat. So maybe my moderators, thank you so much, moderators, would share that throughout the evening. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to try to put it in the description of this video, but I didn't. So it's going to be a little extra steps that I'm going to have to do during the live. But I want to say this, you guys. If you don't know Aubrey, again, she's an astrologer. I've had astrology readings from her. I've had psychic readings from her. And I've got her books. And you guys are in for a treat because let me just say that yesterday she gave me an amazing reading like everything my guides were telling me. Basically, she said exactly the same thing. And then they got to say, I told you so. But anyway, it was really nice to hear from Aubrey. So now I can actually do it instead of just not listening to my spirit guides. So, so if you guys are interested in a reading, she is offering psychic readings. This is why I'm telling you guys she's going to get booked up. I know this. Why do I know this? Count on my hands all the people that have been on my channel that you can't even get into a reading with anymore because they're booked up for like forever to the 12th of never. So I'm going to put her link tree in the chat, and she's offering you guys a really good deal. Okay, so if you're interested in a reading, you might even want to go ahead and book a reading before she gets booked. So that's all I'm going to say. And we're going to get, that's her link tree, which is like a mini website. Okay, it's in the chat. I will put it in the description as well when I get a second. So let's get started. Are you ready, Aubrey?
I'm ready. Before we do anything, though, I do want to say thank you so much for having me back again. I had such a good time the last time we did this. So like I told you, I haven't stopped thinking about it since we did it last time. So I'm very grateful to be here. So you're always so gracious about having me come on. So just thank you. I'm super excited.
You're so welcome. I wouldn't have you on if you weren't the bomb, and she is the bomb. Let me tell you. Let's get to the readings, and we'll go from there. Let me just take a look here. Let's go. LE, thank you. She said she has seen you before and she was amazing. Thank you so much for that. It's so sweet. All right, let's go to Lisa Davies, who says, I would appreciate any info regarding my spiritual opening of my third eye and crown chakra, if possible. So you would like any information regarding your spiritual opening. So you'd like to maybe open it more or experience that more. If you guys don't know what that means, third eye is psychic seeing. You can see things in your mind's eye, which is like in your imagination. Or her crown chakra is, basically just opening to claircognizance, which is psychic thinking, but it's also just guidance, being more open to guidance, right? Do you want me to jump in first, Aubrey, or do you want to take this?
Whatever you want to do is totally fine.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go.
Okay, I actually feel like your crown chakra is already open. As soon as I started reading that, I started feeling this tingling on my own crown. So I do actually think that your crown chakra is pretty open. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps from that. So yeah, I think your crown chakra is definitely open. As far as the third eye, I'm actually going to give you an exercise to do. I'm very strongly clairvoyant. Okay, like my third eye, I see things in my mind's eye all the time. And I started out by doing this practice that a different psychic gave to me, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to ask you to choose your favorite fruit. Okay. I don't care what that is. It's a banana, it's an apple, it's a strawberry, whatever. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to really like visualize that fruit in your mind's eye. and what you try to see it in, in as much detail as possible. How big is it? Is it on a table? Where is it? What is it doing? Try to just like take in as much of that scene as humanly possible. And if that feels difficult, I mean, you just like psychic senses are like muscles, right? Like we have to exercise them, we have to use them, we have to engage them. So even if it's difficult for you to do in the beginning, the more that you practice it, like the stronger it will get, the easier it will become. And then over time, you can start to try to view the fruit from different angles, right? Like viewing it from the top, the front, the side, like trying to go around it, like you're walking around it and seeing it from all the different angles. And like, for some reason, I'm getting a pineapple. I don't know if you love pineapple, but like seeing all of the like ridges and all of the different colors and shapes. And at a certain point, to practice your other psychic senses, not just clairvoyance, you can also try to like pick it up and examine it in your mind's eye. Can you feel the texture of the skin of the fruit on your fingers? Can you smell it at a certain point? Go to like take a bite out of it. Do you hear like the crunch? Do you feel the juices in your mouth? Can you taste it? And all of those things will really, really strengthen not only the third eye, but all of the different clairs.
That's an amazing exercise that anybody can do. That is something you can start small, like she said. Just try to picture it, and then she gave you like from beginning to like expert. So that's something that you could do for years, right? And just continue to get better at it. That is such a great exercise. I had no idea. That's fantastic. Thank you, Aubrey. I think you're right. I think you're right, Lisa. Your third eye is open. I think a lot of times we don't realize it because it's almost second nature. If you grow up with it, you don't realize it's special. You don't realize it's something different that other people maybe don't experience that way. So part of it is just recognizing that you have this ability that, yes, I do see things. Think about how you talk. I see this person getting a promotion. How do you know? I just see it. I don't know. How you talk is going to actually give you an alert as to where that information is coming from. I hear you getting a yes. We just say it. We don't think about it. But that hearing, that tells me it's clairaudient. So pay attention to that too. And I think your crown chakra, I think for you, I would suggest meditating for that. Giving them some space to come through. When we're always reading books about how to do things or watching videos or, just engaging our mind, they cannot get through. It's very hard for your guides to get through information to you. So give them some space, do something mindless, even vacuuming the floor or coloring in an adult coloring book or, watching something mindless. That will give them space to come through, and then be intentional. I'd like a message about this, and then see how it pops up. It might pop up in some way that you don't know, right? So those are some hopefully some good tips, Lisa. If you're here, let us know. Yes,
I'm sorry, can I say one more thing? I love what you said about giving them space, because that was the other thing I was going to say, is that our psychic senses are usually pretty subtle. It's not like necessarily in the movies where someone like grabs someone's hand and then they're like in this trance and getting this like crazy vision. They're quiet, right? And so if we aren't creating that space, like you said, right, like you got to get off the screens. You gotta, stop trying to distract yourself with a million things. And we live in such a noisy world that way, right? And so they're like, honestly, most of the psychics I know don't spend a ton of time like on the screens, right? Obviously, social media is a little different, but like, they do take that time to be quiet, right? And to have kind of the solitude. And I mean, obviously, I think as your psychic senses get stronger, then they become more noticeable. But especially in the beginning, I totally agree with Susan. Like, you really do have to give them space to speak up.
Thank you, Aubrey. Fantastic. I hope that was helpful, Lisa. I think that was helpful for all of us, right? Actually. So let's move on. Anya, I think I only see you every other month, so I always forget how to say your name, and I'm so sorry. Where and when do you see me working next? I'm also beginning to do energy work for animals. Thank you. That's a broad question for where and when do I see you working next? If you guys ask a broad question, the spirits are going to give you a broad answer, unless they've been knocking on your door trying to get your attention and you haven't been answering and they have a specific thing they want to tell you. But 9 times out of 10, if you don't ask a specific question, they're not going to give you a specific answer. So, but I want to go to when. Let's just focus on when for a minute. When do I see you working next? Because it does feel like I'm hearing the word hiatus, like you're on a little bit of a break. I don't know if that's self-imposed or if that's something that you don't like, but it feels like you've made peace with it, at least, or you're okay with it. So I think there's a little bit of a break. There could be movement around November, December for a new job or a new direction. It could be that you have a new direction that you're like, wait a minute, I think I want to pivot. I think I want to go this direction. And so whether it's a job or an idea about the direction you're going in, I feel like that could happen around November to December. And I think doing energy work is really great with animals. I like that for you. I think you're also you have that ability to speak, not only do energy work, but I think you can communicate with animals. And I see you communicating with them and communicating with the human and being the bridge of information between the animal. I think that's going to grow and more in 2026. What do you think, Aubrey?
So I definitely agree with the animal energy work thing. That feels very sweet to me. And I do think it's something that you will do more and more of, and that will really be like a rewarding thing for you. It's interesting because when I think about you getting a job, I think over time the animal energy work will maybe become what you're doing, at least like solidly part-time, if not full-time. But I also, when I think about it, I get this kind of hit around like, it's almost like, how do I want to say this? It's like there's an opportunity or there's like some kind of calling or message that's been coming through around like, the job you need to go get, like something that you're being called to, but you're kind of like ignoring it. Like, I don't know if you're like, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like fun. Maybe it's like returning to something that you were doing originally that you left and don't want to do anymore. But in this moment, maybe it's like helpful to return to that just for the time being. That's what's coming through for me.
That's good advice, actually, to not necessarily pass up something that you feel like you've already been there, done that, but that might be a gateway to something new. So I like that. I think that's very helpful. Thank you, Aubrey. Yes, I feel like you might want to move, but I feel like Aubrey, I feel like you're not quite ready. Like something needs to be gone back over or something needs to be reconsidered. This is a hiatus, not a time of like action. So I would just wait for spirit. They're saying, wait for us to catch up with you. Like, I think maybe you're a few steps ahead of them. And now it's time to just kind of be in the flow. And that's why you may go back to a job you had to just kind of kill some time or pay the bills while these things that spirit's working for you on your behalf are being created in the future.
I agree with that. It feels like we have to do something out of necessity, not necessarily like something that you're really wanting to do, but it's temporary, right? Like you're not going to do it forever.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's important for her to hear because I don't think she wants to go backwards. I think that feels like going backwards to her. And I get very much that you're not a backwards person. You're always moving forwards person, right? So it's not a forever thing. You're not going to be trapped. But it could be that you need to do that for a minute. Hopefully that was helpful, dear. Good to see you. Time to make money. Exactly. That's what I think Aubrey's trying to say. Let's take care of business right now. Yes. And know that you're not going to get trapped in it. It's just do what you do right now.
I think it's going to support you while you're building up the clientele and stuff for the animal work.
True that too, because that's really going to take off next year.
Yeah.
I think in ways that you can't perceive of right now. Okay. Well, that's exciting. I'm glad to hear that for you. All right, I have starred. We have 429 here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. If you're new here, right? I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. I have Aubrey here. She is a psychic medium and an astrologer. She's a very good astrologer, a very good psychic, as you guys can see, right? I'm going to put her link tree in because I don't think I put it in the description. My bad. If you're interested in booking a reading with her, she has just started offering psychic readings right now. There's a very limited amount, so you can check it out. Okay, let's see. Deanna G kissing frogs. All right, let's do that. Will my coloring book start selling enough to support me? Yes and no is what I'm getting. Yes, they will sell. The guides are saying the idea of them supporting you is maybe a bridge too far, but I don't want you to become disheartened about that, because they're saying there's so much more where that came from. Like, I see you're a designer. I don't know. Look, I'm just the messenger. They're telling me you're an artist, you're a designer, and they're saying that you could take these designs and this art and this knowledge, and they want you to what is that word, when you spread everything out a little bit more. You may actually, for right now, you may actually work, maybe you do this already, you may actually work helping people. Like, you could put your services out there as a designer for people who are doing workbooks. That could be something that you could make some side money on while your coloring books are going. But I see you doing workbooks or illustrating other people's books. And Aubrey has some experience with this. Do you want to jump in, because you've worked with an artist for your Oracle deck? As a matter of fact,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there are people out there always looking for artists, designers. There are like publishing houses hire people to just like be their designers for books. If people aren't bringing in like their own outside artists, and some publishing houses don't even want to do that. They just have people on deck. I agree with Susan when she says yes and no about the coloring books thing. Do I think they will be successful and people will buy them and they'll like them? Yes. Do I think that it becomes enough, just the coloring books that you have right now alone, to become your like full-time income? No. However, I agree with her. I don't want you to get disheartened about that. I'm going to be honest and say that it feels like a lot of impatient energy from you around that, which trust me, I understand. I fully understand the impatience around things like that. But yeah, it's like, if you keep at it, if you build it, they will come, right? Like, you got to keep at it. And I agree about maybe like diversifying a little bit, around like, who are you working with? Again, like, maybe you are like the artist for somebody else for their workbook or whatever. I feel like there's plenty of opportunity out there for you in kind of like the same vein of the coloring books. And I agree with her. I want to encourage you actually to like reach out, pursue that, start exploring that more. And the other thing that honestly that came through for me immediately when I read your question is marketing. Are you marketing your coloring books? It's a pain in the butt to have to do it. I know. Again, trust me, I know. I struggle with it all the time with my own books. But if you're not talking about it, people don't know they exist. So there is something about like really, in all ways, I feel like putting yourself out there around that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Valuing yourself as an artist, as a creator, is super important. I hope that was helpful, Deanna. It's all good. Diversify is the word, right? Like, and I think that's true for all of us, like, so again, this is Aubrey's Oracle deck, the Pluto Oracle, which I love, but she worked with the artist, Rose Ides, right? Rose Ides. So she's got 2 books published. She knows what she's talking about. So I hope that helps you. And I hope that you come back and tell us how it's going, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to just take a second and say, hey, Libby from Meister Tarot, I'm so sorry you lost one of your pets. I'm sorry to hear that. It is truly just heartbreaking. Our pets are so important to us. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah, and I think your
Aw.
pet's name was Sneaks, maybe I saw in the but yeah, I'm so sorry. That's really, really hard. Our heart goes out to you, and I'm sure your baby is fine. Your baby is, like you said. Here's what you said: Sneaks passed last night, but not in pain and chilled on sedation. So
Aw,
that's the way
that's
we all want to go, right? We all want to go like that, surrounded by love and not having any fear or pain. So that's really, really
mhm,
sweet.
mhm.
I don't know if I think Sneaks was a cat, but I don't know why. I think that. But I feel like this I feel like a wet nose and maybe a little lick, even though it's a cat. I think cats can sometimes lick. So I think this your baby is fine and
Mhm.
all is okay, but I'm sorry it
Yeah.
happened. It's terrible. All right. Meister Tarot, if you guys aren't familiar, she's a great reader. So she's on YouTube as well.
Hmm.
Libby is. All right. So let's oh no, that's okay, Libby. You're part of the family, girl. Jump in, drink your chamomile, eat your caramel. I wish I had some. Okay. I do have some, but I'm not eating it right now because I sound like this. And you guys wouldn't understand what I was saying. Um, Wait, Amanda says, I sculpt abstracted florals and
Oh,
name them after
obsessed.
goddesses to help empower
Mhm.
women. Hello, thank you. I
Yeah.
sculpt in ceramic clay, but should I start using something stronger, faster so I can make bigger pieces? I do sense a change in the medium, in the the stuff that you use to make these sculptures, but I don't think it's I mean, this is a process. As an artist, I don't want to tell you what to do because that's part of the art. That's part of you creating the art, right? But what I would suggest is be really open. And
Mhm.
because I feel like your art is going to take up an expansion, sometimes the best way to get there is to not go directly using the art. So what I might suggest you do is have a side little hobby of different art, because that's how we break through and get expansion. When we're focused on something, we usually don't can't see the whole thing. We're too narrowly focused and we it doesn't really work. So what I would suggest is literally change mediums and have a little love affair on the side. Yes, I'm asking you to step out on your art, but have a little love affair on the side and maybe do metal smithing or do something completely different, because that's going to break your brain. It's going to break this habit that you've gotten into and get you to the next level. Because I could actually see you doing really big pieces,
Mhm. Mhm.
like bigger than a human pieces,
Mhm.
but I don't think they're not ceramic.
No.
I don't know
Mhm.
what they are. It could be wire, it could be some sort of wire woven thing, it could be metal. I don't think we should put a period at the end of that sentence. I think you should allow that to grow, but I don't know that it can grow without you doing something completely different to sort of open that up enough. What do you think, Aubrey?
I completely agree. I really, really agree with what you said about the pieces being like enormous and like getting, yeah, literally bigger than like human bodies. Like I see them almost taking up like an entire room, to be honest.
Oh,
I love the metal smithing idea. When you said that, I got goosebumps. I was like, yep, love metal. And so what I will say, what is coming through for me, I love everything Susan said about you being open and experimenting and trying new things. I do ultimately think that you will find a different material that you're using as well. Do I think it will make them stronger? Yes. Do I think it will be a faster process? No.
nice. The good is and the bad is. And Libby is saying paper mache. I mean, that could be it, right? It it could be anything, but it's not going to be faster because it's going to be big. I
Yeah.
I really feel like it's going to be a big thing. And honestly, maybe even the subject matter changes. I don't know. But
Mhm.
I would just try to be as open as possible, because if you can be, and goes for all of us, I don't care if you're an artist or if you're just looking for a new job, if you can try to be as open as possible, you'll get the best guidance. You'll get the top rated guidance, because they're not being limited by our thinking. So just try to be wide open. Like, I don't care, spirit, I'll do anything. Right. And then maybe you'll play around with some things and then you'll find it.
I will say, when I think about you doing like the metal sculptures or whatever, for me, I'm like stuck on this metal idea.
Metal has got a lot of
Um,
energy.
but when what I see is, I see them being displayed. I do think you'll like be in galleries and have art shows and things like that. But I really, just to be honest with you, I see them in the homes of like really rich people.
Whoop, whoop.
I do like that. Like I see them like,
Celebrities or just people?
like in like is it the foyer, right? Like in some room, it's like this huge display piece, and like these very modern homes also, right, where it's like they have these big glass panels around them, and I see like a fireplace in the way. I like see this house that I see this like huge floral sculpture in, and it's very clear to me, like I said, that they're well off. So I think what you're doing is so cool. And I would love if you stuck with the idea. It's my own bias, but metal for me really feels like the
There's
thing.
something about metal. And I don't know. That's why I said wire, because I don't,
Yeah,
that's a big undertaking, right? So,
absolutely.
but anyway, I hope this helps. We're both geeked about it, and I hope it helps and you're successful and you feel like this gives you some kind of clarity, right? That would be good. Thank you for tuning in. All right. And Aubrey, you're killing it. I just love the way you just step into it. It's like amazing. I'm telling
I
you, this kid
appreciate
doesn't even know. All right, that's cool. We that's how we do. All right. Karen Votel says, thank you, ladies. I'd appreciate any info and really appreciate any information. Okay. It sounds like you just when I'm like that, and I in the back in the day when I'd go to somebody and I'd just tell me something, right? Like I need like a shot in the dark. Like I feel like I need some help narrowing down some things, because I don't even know what to ask. So, Karen, I would say what I'm getting is angelic energy. I don't know if you're a person who likes angels or you have angel figurines, or if you never even heard of them and don't work with that energy. It doesn't really matter, because the angelic realm is here for you. They want to work with you. Perhaps you grew up in a religious background that you're distanced from, or whatever we don't care. It doesn't matter. They don't care. It doesn't matter. So I feel like if I were in your shoes, I and who is I hope you're still here, Karen, and you put
that.
something in the chat to let me know if I am just talking crazy right now. But there is an angel, and I don't know angels, and I just know I'm probably going to get this wrong. Sandal Fern, something like that. So you might just check into angels and see, if that helps you, if that makes any sense to you, if that gives you some direction. What are you getting, Aubrey?
Well, I agree with you. I kind of wonder if Karen is still here.
Sandal.
Um, I would love to know if Karen was still here, because I want to know if Karen's dad is still around.
Oh, okay.
So say something to us, Karen, if you're still here.
Knock on the ceiling if you're here with us tonight. So there is an angel Sandafon, and there's just a lot of information here that I can't really put all in here, um, but yeah, they're there. Okay, he's responsible for gathering human prayers and delivering them, um, connecting to Metatron, connecting to the
Mm,
Kabbalistic tradition. He's the patron angel of music and often
mm.
depicted playing music. So there's some stuff there for you that might give you some clues. AA Sanafon, thank you. Thank you. Here goes all my angel people. Yes. All right. She is still here. Thank you, Gloria. Um, Where are you? Karen, that's what I'm looking for. Did you ask? Okay, Karen says yes, she's still here, and no, he is not.
He's not. Okay. Yeah. So that's okay. So yeah, I'm that your dad is what's coming through for me. And honestly, it feels like there's some kind of like family thing going on. What that is, I don't know. I'm also curious if you have a sister. But you're for me, yeah, it feels like some kind of family, something that really needs to be dealt with. Your dad is definitely there with you. Like I can feel him very strongly around you. And there is something that he's wanting you to take care of when it comes to family stuff. I wish I could give you like more details than that. It feels like something that has maybe been going, I'm getting so many like goosebumps from this. It's crazy. It feels like it's something that has maybe been going on for a little while and that kind of feels at like the forefront of your life, or it's causing you a lot of stress for some reason. And maybe there's a little, I don't know if it's avoidance necessarily, or you just feeling like overwhelmed and not really knowing what to do about it. I mean, yeah, but like your dad is there so strongly. Did he have a mustache? And I see like him with a mustache and a hat.
Interesting. And know that could be, he could be showing her a version of him when he was much younger, even when you were younger, right?
Definitely. Yeah, he's
So
definitely
he was
younger.
younger.
Like maybe like middle age, like was what I'm seeing. But yeah, he's not like an old man. Like that's not what I'm seeing. But whatever that is, he's really wanting you to like deal with that, take care of that. Yeah, maybe when he's younger. Okay. But he's with you. I mean, he is definitely with you. All the time. I mean, I kind of like see him in your kitchen for some reason. But yeah, whatever that is that's like really stressing you out. Again, if it's something with like another family member or sibling, something like he's wanting you to. Okay. He definitely wants you to deal with it. He's there to support you. Whatever this issue is, like he's on your side is what he's telling me, and he thinks you're right. I don't know what that means. But he definitely wants to assist you in any way that he can, and he wants you to call upon him. Like he wants you to talk to him.
Nice.
And he will I'm sorry. I have like full body goosebumps with this. He is wanting you to talk to him, to reach out to him. He is there to help you and support you. And he says he'll kind of do anything that he can from spirit to help you, but he needs you to just talk to him and to open those lines of communication and to share with him what you need, what you want, what it is that you're feeling lost or confused about. Yeah. And that he loves you. He wants you to know he loves you.
Yeah. That was beautiful, Aubrey. That is so important. And so could you give her some ideas about when she's talking, and this goes for everybody, right? When you're talking to your people in spirit, whoever they are, and you just have a conversation. Dad, I don't know what to do about this. I really need some help. I would love for you to give me some guidance and symbols or signs.
Mm-hmm.
Would you share with her how she might know when he is sending her a sign or something?
Well, so what I am gonna say is, you know your dad, right? Or you know your dad, how you know your dad. And so if there's something that he really loved, or the two of you shared and like did together all the time, or there's just like something, yeah, like to me it feels like there was some kind of like some special something like between the two of you that if you like saw it, you would be like, oh, like that's dad. But I feel like he just wants you to talk to him like a regular person. You know what I mean? Like you just talk to him however you talked to him when he was alive. Um, mhm, mhm.
And I would just add that I feel like the outcome is going to be fine. I think it might be even anticlimactic. It might be like a lot of buildup and then just like that.
Mhm.
Um, it may be an outcome that you don't see coming or that you're not aware of
Mhm.
that could happen, but it's like, oh, okay. When you worry about something and then all of a sudden somebody says, "Oh, well, they didn't care. It turns out they left and they didn't care." And you're like, "Oh, okay." It's almost like a sense I was worried for nothing, right? Like that kind of
Mhm.
thing. But I would build on what Aubrey's saying and saying that your dad wants to continue this relationship. Like I think there will be a time when he's gotten a little distant from you. He's moved on to do some other things, but for the next while, he's going to be on your team and be with you even after this thing is solved.
Mhm.
Um, so
Definitely.
just
Yes.
a lot of support for you.
Yes.
So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure, and I hope
so
that
much.
helped.
Yeah, thank you. Aubrey, that was amazing. Thank you so much. And you can listen to her when she talks. I see, I feel. Look, she's switching between her clairs, between her
Mhm.
psychic abilities. I'm feeling, I'm seeing. I'm just that's your little clue when she's saying those things, how she's integrating all the psychic information she's getting. Because sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's chills, sometimes it's a knowing, sometimes it's a seeing, and all that comes at once. And we take it all and put it into words, or at least we try to.
We tried.
All right.
Yeah, we tried to.
Sometimes it's like, I don't know what to say about all that. Okay. Um, let's see. I'll try. We'll dip into the mediumship again with Dawn. She lost her stepdad last month. I'm so sorry
Oh, I'm so sorry.
for that loss. It's really grief is just something you have to go through. Does he have a
Mhm.
message for you? Um, he's another one who's very paternal. He feels like a dad to you. I mean, he considers himself a dad to you. Like maybe that was the name you used, stepdad, but in his energy, he feels like your dad.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to step on other toes. And he says, I think he's saying that there were other people who could be a little emotional or a little, uh, I don't know what to say, like even triggered. So he tried not, he was just always like, no, it's cool. He was always like, Mr. Get along to go along. I'm not going to cause that person to have a freak out session because it's not worth it. But in his energy, he was your dad. His message for you is there's something that you're wanting to do. Maybe you're planning or even just thinking about it. He says, go for it. He's like,
Mhm.
go for it. He's like, you've got all the time in the world. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about failures. You're never going to get anywhere if you keep putting things off. He's like, I would like for you to put yourself first. Apparently, there's also, it says two different things. So one is don't put things off. And secondly, you might be putting things off because you're trying to help someone else or you're trying to do the right thing or whatever it is. He's like, 5 years, 10 years from now, that stuff isn't going to matter. What's going to matter is that you took that leap of faith for you, for yourself. He says you're smart enough. He says you're good enough. And he says you're even better than those things. Okay. So please bet on you. Put all your money on you. Bet on you. Don't stop betting on other people. What do you think, Aubrey?
I agree. The message that is coming through very strongly for me is that he's like, I'm proud of you, kiddo. Like that's just what I keep hearing, like over and over. Like, I'm so proud of you, kiddo. I see him, his energy to me almost feels like a little mischievous in some way. Like I just see him with this like smirk on his face.
Oh, wow.
And I also see him sitting in like a big, like leather lazy boy chair. I'm curious if he smoked a pipe, because that's what I'm seeing. But yeah, he wants you to know he's super proud of you. If there's something that you're feeling guilty about around his death, he doesn't want you to feel bad um at all. Like he's just like, nope, like, you did everything you could. You did all the right things. There's nothing for you to like regret or feel bad about. And yeah, he's just super proud of you. He feels really excited that, first of all, that you're asking about him. He also feels really excited about like you and like whatever it is that you're about to do or like embark on. like Susan was saying, like taking a leap of faith, or you're like going after something big, like he's really excited for you to do that. Yeah, I have goosebumps from that. He's really excited, and it's like he's gonna be watching. Like that's what I'm getting.
Front row
Yeah,
seat.
yeah.
He's the kind of guy that would he's like, no, this is my space. Like,
Yeah,
he looks so
yeah.
proud of you. Like, he's really does have that paternal energy of,
I agree.
that's my girl right there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I mean, he might, this is what he's giving us, right? It could have been a much more complicated relationship, but that's what he's giving us. So I hope that helps you, Dawn. Yeah, he loves you. All right,
Yeah,
let's
definitely.
move on.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Aubrey. All right. I'm sorry for your loss, so that's hard. Let's go to Patty Gunas. How are you, Patty Gunas? You asked a whole bunch of questions, but this is the one that is here. Your son is moving to NYC. Will he thrive? Look at Aubrey. She's about to come out of her chair over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really good for him. Actually, do I think that there will be plenty of things for him to learn and do, and it feels new and unfamiliar and whatever? Yes, but like, I don't think he's really going to have problems. Like, I actually think this is a very good move for him. I think there's a lot of opportunity for him in New York City. I think, especially around his career, like if there's a lot of energy for me around his career and that kind of like taking off in some way, shape, or form. I think there's also a lot of possibility. Like it's very open for him to kind of decide, like, what is the path that he's really wanting to do. But yeah, I mean, for me, it feels great for him. Honestly, I think he'll be super successful. And he does. There's lots of like open doors now, and that will continue to open for him. I think he is going to be really excited about these opportunities as well. Yeah, I'm the astrologer in me is curious about his astrocartography in New York, because it feels, like I said, it feels very exciting. And it feels, yeah, I think it's such a good move for him.
Nice. I agree with all those things. I think actually New York is going to be, when you're young and you're living it, it doesn't, you don't understand how important it is, right? And then 10 years later, you're like, that was the whole thing, right? Like that was such an important time in my life. I can't remember where you live, Patty, but I feel like either he's going to spend his summer down on the coast, like around North Carolina or South Carolina, or go down maybe Virginia, not too far away, or there's some kind of hiatus or reason for him to not be in New York for some period of time. There could be an interruption. So I'm giving you this because forewarned is forearmed. If you know there's a potential, I'm not saying it's written in stone, but if you know there's a potential, if it happens, then you can be like, oh, okay, it's cool. Because it doesn't screw up anything. It all happens for a reason. And New York will keep pulling him back. He will continue to go back to New York. I think, like Aubrey said, I think this is like the nexus of a lot of things are going to be birthed out of that New York energy. 100%. I think it's going to be great. He wants to volunteer for Mom Donnie's campaign. How nice. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Love that.
Yes, I love that. Very cool. You'll have to go visit him and send pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should definitely go visit him. I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
he's going to be excited to show you like all the things. Yeah.
That's true. And there's all the things in New York City. I mean, there's like so much to know. Okay. Sandy B wants to know if you can retire or should retire. Should you retire next year? I feel like yes. I feel like your guides are like looking at their watch going, girl, you're overdue. What are you talking about next year? So I feel like do not get caught up into some thing where they get you to work longer. I wouldn't do that. I would retire next year, and I'd retire in the first half of the year. What do you think, Aubrey?
I completely agree with that. I was going to say like in the next handful of months. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I agree with you. Like really, I feel like it's really early actually in 2020. Like I'm getting March. So, somewhere in there, but I agree. Like to me, it feels like are you very dedicated to your job, and you pick up a lot of the slack and you're very serious about it, you're a good worker, like absolutely. But it also is like what I am getting is this, like, you've paid your dues, you've done your time, like you don't need to keep taking on all this responsibility for other people that maybe isn't even in like your wheelhouse at your job, right? They're not paying you for it. Yeah, it's for me, it's a very strong yes around retiring, and I think you're gonna feel so relieved. Like,
Yeah.
again, it's not that you don't like your job or don't care about your job or whatever, but it's like, it just feels like this exhale that like you're not even gonna know that you're gonna feel that way until you do it. And I think that is also going to open up a lot of space in your life for you to like do things you really want to, but maybe haven't been able to because of the demands of your career.
Yes. Like travel.
Yes, I definitely see you traveling a lot as
Yeah.
well. I totally
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, I would get the ball rolling because I think you have to go to HR and get things, I would get the ball rolling like maybe in November for an exit early next year. That's just us, right? None of this is financial advice or
Yeah,
professional advice, right? Like this is you really should do what's best for you, okay?
but I think it's
But
going to
it's
work out better than you think it's going to. I'm sorry. I
yes,
need to interrupt you. Um, if you're worried about like financials and all of that, I think it's actually going to work out better than you think.
me too. Me too. Me too. And that's what we all worry about. That's why we don't retire because we're like, well, if I wait a little bit longer, XYZ will happen. Yeah, I think good. I see good times ahead for you, dear. Okay, and then another Sandy. Will my mom recover from her stroke? Any advice regarding finding a new job, moving, please? Thanks. Yes, I see your mom recovering from her stroke. However, we have to understand what recovering means. I don't see her making a full recovery to the person she was before the stroke. I hope I'm wrong, right? Like I please let me be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't know if their speech has been impacted, but it feels to me like speech or swallowing or something along those lines. Um, Maybe another way to ask this question would be like, how much help is my mom going to need, or is she going to be able to go to, you know what I mean? Like those are some other questions that might be more helpful. But she's going to recover, but I think she's going to have some lasting effects of the
Mhm.
stroke that she will mostly work around. Like it's not going to take her completely out. She's going to work around it because I think she's that kind of person. I think she's like hard to hold down. I think she just works her way around things, right? Um, and then advice about finding a new job or moving. I don't know if all those are connected. Like if you're thinking about moving to help your mom, I don't know if those are separate or connected. But right now, your mom's health is taking all of your bandwidth. It's it's your whole brain, your whole body's involved in that. And then the job thing feels almost like desperate. Like I've got too much on my plate. I've got to do all these things. I don't know how I'm going to handle all this. I mean, it just feels like you're overwhelmed. And I don't know if you're clairaudient because my ears are hurting right now. So you could also have that, pressure. Maybe you're having some pressure, headache pressure, something like that. But I feel like you're going to get through this. Okay. So I would just suggest maybe not making any really radical decisions right
Mhm.
now. Like I think slow down, take a lot of deep breaths, ask for advice from friends and family, wait it out. Don't do anything rash because I think things are going to change with your mom and the outcome is going to be different than you thought. And you're going to make a lot of decisions based on something that's still moving. What do you think, Aubrey?
Well, I don't know if you just saw me nodding the entire time you're saying all of that, but I completely agree with you. Um, I mean, everything you said about her mom. Yes, I'm getting exactly the same thing. And I really do agree with what you said about her kind of like working around it, right? Like, is she a spring chicken? Like, no, right? Is she going to like fully recover to whatever that means for you prior to the stroke? No, but I also don't think it's going to be this like debilitating thing for her in the long run. Will she have to change some things, work around some things? yes. And like, there will just be like little things that's like not there anymore, or like she can't do it anymore or whatever. But it's not gonna ruin her life. Like she will be functional, it will be fine. I am curious if you live by your mom, because I think there's something about that like you need to be near her. And I absolutely love what Susan said around like it feeling a little like desperate, but it's actually like not the right thing to worry about right now. Like there is actually something about like your mom's health where you're going to want to be near her. She may need you to be near her. At least in the kind of like immediate future. Right? Like for me it feels like the next 6 months, like
Right.
mom really needs you, and maybe around like the springtime, you can kind of there will be something that kind of opens up where you can start really worrying about like job moving, etc. But that to me it feels like that's like not the right thing to worry about. And my hope is that if you can bring yourself to kind of put that on the back burner for now and just be like, okay, that's like a future me problem, that actually will kind of take a lot of that stress off of your plate and open up that kind of like mental space that you need right now, to just kind of get through it.
Yeah. I think that's wise words, Sandy. You might want to look at the time on this video and come back and watch this later, right? Like if you're like, I don't know what they said, because believe me, when you're getting readings, your brain cannot compute, right? So bookmark this time on this video and come back and listen. It's very good advice for you. I haven't seen you pop back up I know you did say that you think you might be clairaudient, but I haven't seen you pop back up with anything as far as your mom, if you live near her or will want to live near her. And if you can't, we understand. We're not saying you have to do it. But it could, oh, here you go. Definitely bookmark. Okay. It could help you. I think what Aubrey's also pointing out is there's a synergy between you two right now where you can help her and she can help you, and you can help her and she can help you. There's sort of like a really nice connection between you right now in that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you live with your mom, okay, great. So you already live with your mom.
Good.
Okay, super. So good. And you're talking about moving out from your mom. You're like, I need out of here, y'all, and y'all are telling me to stay. Listen to what Aubrey said, because then there's a hiatus again that maybe just put that on the back burner. Go ahead, Aubrey.
I actually don't think it would be bad if you did move out from her, but I think you still need to be near her. Like we can't, you need to be very, very close to her. I don't care if that means you live 10 minutes up the street. You know what I mean? I don't care if that means you live 15 minutes across town, but like we can't, she would move with me. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe we just don't worry about that right now. Like your mom's health, I do think she's going to need your help, especially in like the immediate future. And I just think that in the grand scheme of things, that is kind of like the most important thing right now. Like I truly feel that there's something that like in the future, when you're looking back on this time, that you're going to feel glad that you stayed to help her.
Right. You want to leave Texas? I just left Texas and I landed in a small conservative town. Don't ask me how I did that. I'm still got complaints lodged with my spirit guides, and they are stacking up because their phone is busy. But anyway, so here's the thing. I really feel like everything Aubrey said, just please go back and listen to it. They're just putting a weight on you. This is like, just pause.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just pause 6 months, I think you're going to have a much clearer idea of where you want to move and why you want to move and how you'll move. But this 6 months is sort of like getting the work done. Like you've got to get this work done right now. And then after that, around June next year, you're going to have a much better idea of everything. But be sure to take care of yourself. Don't let you get lost in all of this too. So
Absolutely.
be sure to have time out to leave the house and to do things. I feel like Spirit is going to do that thing that they do that I don't like, where when you decide you want to leave, then they introduce you to people and you're like, oh, I got great new friends now and I want to leave. But now, you know what I mean? I feel like they're going to bring you help and they're going to make your area of Texas really nice. It's not going to fix the whole thing, but they're going to bring you help and give you a much easier way to get through this. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Let's see. I'm going to move. And I want to say again, thank you to my moderators. Thank you guys. Thank you to Sharon and Matt and everybody that's here. I don't know who all's here, but I see you and I really appreciate you guys showing up at the last minute when I don't give you any notice and helping me out. So I really appreciate that. Gloria, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And speaking of Gloria, you had a question, Gloria. Let me see. I want to find my moderator, Gloria. Hopefully. Yes. Okay. Gloria says, with a wrench, that's a moderator, you guys. Can I get a message from my guides, please? Why am I on my path? You're not going to believe what I thought you wrote. Okay. I thought you said, why am I on this earth? I was like, me too. I've been asking the same question and I don't get any answers. So if you find, let me know. Okay. Never mind. Why am I on my, why? I'm going to stop talking. Aubrey, you talk. I don't know what is happening. They won't let me say her question.
Okay. Can I get a message from my guides, please? Am I on my path? She wants to know if she's on her right path.
Did you hear me say 6 different things? What is going on?
Okay, I'm gonna say yes. I definitely feel like you're on your path. Okay. And your guides are like, your path can be whatever you choose it to be. Right? Like you don't have to like put yourself in a box. Like it's not like there's only one right answer. So I just want to put that out there for you. But yes, they like the path that you're on. They feel like you're on a good path, a good trajectory. I mean, for me, they're just like, yeah, you should feel good about it. Like you should feel good about what you're doing.
Nice.
That's what you talk for a minute, Susan. It's coming in.
She's getting more as we speak. Gloria, I would say, I don't know if you're having any kind of headaches or any kind of eye strain or allergies or tension. I feel like my shoulders are tight. So the guides are saying, get outside a little bit more, or they really want to talk about eye strain. So I don't know if you're reading in the dark or if you're on the computer or the phone in the dark, but there's a lot of eye strain. Okay. So you're saying yes. They want you to cut that out. Cut it out. And because it's not necessary. They're like, it's unnecessary harm that you're doing to yourself. So they want you to be kinder to your eyes. Okay. And then allergies. Yeah, mine are kicking up too. So, but they really want to talk about your eyes. So I want you to pay attention to that. The allergies come and go. We deal with that, right? But the eye strain could cause other problems. So they want my message from them is slow down, take time to smell the roses, take time to smell the flowers, take time to enjoy your life. Like just slow down and enjoy the good things, because things are not bad right now. I mean, they are bad. We all watch the politics. I get it, but we're alive, right? There's still things to celebrate, right? And they want you to really celebrate that and take good care of your physical, container. Okay, Aubrey,
I agree with that. I'll say like your energy maybe feels like a little anxious right now. I am curious if you get headaches, like specifically kind of like right behind the ear, if that, yeah, like it feels like something on like your left side of your body. And it also feels maybe like a little, almost like a pinched nerve, like back here on your left, like on your left shoulder. And I think actually it's all connected because we have our occipital nerve, which is also related to the eye, that will wrap around behind the ear and come kind of like down the back and into the shoulder. So you might want to get that checked out.
Cranial sacral. You know what? Does that make sense to you? Cranial
Mhm.
sacral, like massage, or cranial
Yes.
sacral,
Yes.
like
Yes.
something?
Yes. If you really are suffering from headaches and it feels like I said, like it like wraps around your ear and it feels like really tight and down here, you can also go to a chiropractor and they have a thing called dry needling where they're gonna put like just 2 or 3 acupuncture needles and then they connect it to some kind of machine. Don't ask me what it is. And they do these electrical pulses, and it doesn't hurt. It's not painful at all. It feels like a little bit of pressure, but it releases all of that
Mm,
kind of tension that's going on.
yes.
So yeah, I totally agree. I think cranial sacral massage would be amazing for you. If that doesn't work, then you might try the dry needling. But yeah, it's all like right here. So yeah, definitely take care of that.
And take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, Aubrey, I hope that helped. But that's your guides are just basically saying take care of your physical container. And Aubrey said you're doing really well. You probably got an A plus, which is amazing. Didn't even know they gave out A's. All right. I
It's
never.
ready for Aubrey.
Yeah, it's the Aubrey effect. A's for
Oh
everybody.
gosh, I'm
Okay,
so
Hunter wants to know, where will my photography career take me? Um, do you want to jump in that, or do you want me to jump in that?
Where do you want it to take you? That's what is coming through for me immediately. Yeah, where do you want it to take you? To me, it feels like you need to get clear about what the answer to that question is, and to have, some direction and focus and like a goal that you're working towards. I also wonder if you maybe feel like you are experimenting and like finding your voice or like your artist perspective with your photography still, which is completely fine. I mean, it's a natural part of like being an artist, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. But I also think once you can kind of clarify like what you're passionate about, right? What your message is or what you want your focus to be or whatever, that it's also going to help refine your artistic perspective. And that's going to bring a lot of confidence your way. It's going to bring a lot of strength your way. It's definitely going to bring more eyes your way. And I don't think actually that you will stick to that forever. But I think right now that's like really what you need. I hate telling people what they need.
Hunter says yes.
Okay.
It's interesting because I saw images of all these different places, like travel,
Mhm. Mhm.
like
Mhm.
nighttime and cityscapes,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
I think that's why you flummoxed. I mean, it's like it could take you anywhere, right? But maybe
Mhm.
that's part of your plan, is to go places and to see things. I would just say, on top of the great advice that Aubrey gave you, I would say, I feel like for you this is the words I'm getting is a solitary journey, meaning that I don't think you're going to be employed by a magazine per se full time. I feel like you're really going to walk your own path.
Mhm. I
And
completely agree.
and like Aubrey said, that path can actually change, because I think as an artist, I mean, I think you're a photographer, I think you're a great photographer, but I think as an artist, that's going to change. You're a person who is don't like to be nailed down. Like, you don't like to do the same thing all the time. You like that
Mhm.
idea of evolving. So if you'll allow that, if you'll follow your heart, follow your passion, I think the money will follow you. I think you'll develop a following, and I think
Yes.
you'll do this thing right. So that's, yeah. Okay, he says that's more than all right by me. Well, okay, cool.
Right.
um
Right. I agree about the solitary journey. I think it's about you and your vision. It's not what like anyone wants to see. What do you see? And I
Yeah,
think you really need to be true to yourself around that. And again, that can change and flux all the time. And maybe it's like for the next year, I'm obsessed with trees. And then the next year, I'm obsessed with cityscapes. And then the next year, I want to do fashion editorial. Like all of that is fine. You just have to be true to yourself, right? Like it has to be your vision. And that's what people are going to respond to. Like it's not who cares what other people are doing, right? Like it is literally about you and your vision. And I see all this really creative energy like in you and around you, and that you actually do have a really cool vision and perspective that you're wanting to execute. And like, I don't know if you feel nervous, that feels vulnerable a little bit. But that's the way, without a doubt.
I love that, Aubrey. Thank you so much. I hope that helps, Hunter. All right. We would love to see you be successful. And we're going to be walking down the street one day and we're going to walk past a gallery and see you and Amanda and all these other amazing artists in there. And it's going to be so cool.
I know. I want to see your photos now, Hunter.
I know, right? We want to hook us up with your Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm just jumping around here. Kathy Burt says, will I retire soon? Hello from Canada. Hello, Canada. Please send help. Okay, but anyway, never mind. The Mounties, send the Mounties. We need help. Okay, so will you retire soon? Well, they're saying that depends on what you think soon is. I mean, I could see you retiring around summer, around June of next year. You might be asking, can I retire on December 1st? I don't know. And I think you could, but I think it's a stretch. Mm-hmm. I feel like the earliest is April or June of next year. But I also think that you might be considering working until 2028. Does that make any sense? Because I don't think that's necessarily the best thing. So hopefully that makes sense. What do you get, Aubrey?
I agree. I think it depends on your definition of soon. Is it this year? No. Right? Like to me, it feels like there's something that like needs to be taken care of or accomplished. Like there's preparation work, right? That like has to go in to this idea of you retiring. And I'm wondering if you have taken the first step around that yet. Or if you're just like, yeah, I want to retire, maybe I can do it soon, but there's not the actual like, okay, I'm meeting with, I don't know how it is in Canada. Okay. But like, I'm meeting with whoever it is I need to meet with to like get an idea of what it looks like and means for me to retire and what are the steps and is there paperwork and blah, blah, blah. So like, to me, that feels like the real hurdle.
I'm wondering, and this is not me blaming anything, but I'm wondering if she doesn't want to tip her hat just yet. Like she doesn't want them to know because I think she's expecting blowback or questions or pushback. And I think she's trying to decide like, because there's no going back, right? Once she calls that HR, she says financially she can't right now. Okay. So that's where I think I got that 28. I think you can retire next year. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe, and I think Aubrey brought up a really good point. Sometimes we say things and we don't realize all the meanings behind what we say. But Aubrey brought up, have you even checked in with them yet? Because I know people that have gone to that HR or whatever to find out, like, can you tell me? And HR has been like, oh, yeah, actually, this is what you're going to get. And you're surprised, right? So maybe go ahead and do those steps and see for sure. Like, I know in your mind, you don't think you can retire, but take the steps and see. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, I think that if you did take those steps and you said, I'm going to retire in August of next year, I think that you would get another job that would be part-time. And it would be so much easier because you wouldn't, it would be just a whatever job. I mean, just a job to pay the mortgage. You know what I mean? It would not be the whole paycheck. It would just be part-time. And I think that would give you such a relief. What do you think, Aubrey?
I agree with that. I think like August feels really good. Maybe even like a little bit into fall, right? Like feels really good. I also wonder, Kathy, if you're somebody who can sit still, or if you would retire and then you'd be like, okay, I'm bored. Like now what? And so maybe also, as Susan was saying, getting like a part-time job, or maybe it's just like the weekends, or I mean, I don't know, right? But like, I feel like you're still going to need something to be like putting your energy into something you're still working towards, even if it's not your job that you have right now. I also share her sentiment that maybe you're worried about like blowback in some way and you don't want them to know that that's what you're thinking about yet, for whatever reason. And I mean, I get it. Okay. And I do, obviously, I think protecting yourself actually feels important around this. But I still think that there are like a few things that you can start to like learn and figure out and whatever to get like a more realistic picture of what it would look like or mean for you to actually retire.
So all that to say, if I can, I would just spend the rest of this year being open. And for me, because I'm an overthinker, I'm an analyzer, I had to say to myself, I am not connected to the outcome. The outcome is going to be the best outcome for me. I'm going to be radically flexible. And I literally had to talk to myself and say this, right? So that when things happen, I've learned to just kind of go with it, right? And again, when we're flexible and malleable, spirit can take us on these amazing journeys that we can't see. We can't even imagine. We could never imagine. But when we're trying to think our way through it, that leaves out those wonderful, side adventures, right? So I would just be very open. I would give my intention to spirit and say, I want to retire, spirit. Help me out. Show me what I'm not seeing. Give me guidance. I'm open to it.
I totally agree.
And just be amazed, because once you let go and let spirit help you, things happen that you cannot describe. You could not explain. And that's the beauty of it. That's real guidance. Okay. Yeah. I hope you wish you all the best.
Yeah,
Anything
good luck,
else you want to add to that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. Good luck, my dear. You can do it. I want you to know you can do it. Yeah. But we got to start getting the info.
Yep. Bye, Libby. Take good care. Okay, so let's see. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's good. Isa Hernandez says, hi, Susan Aubrey. I want to move closer to my grandson. Is it a good idea? Do you think yes? You're saying yes, because I'm getting no. Okay, our first disagreement.
Oh, you go.
Well, I just feel like maybe I could say yes, move closer, but don't get sucked in, or there's an undertow, like when the ocean drags you out to sea and you didn't see it. You were like, 1 minute you were like, oh, it's so beautiful out here, and then all of a sudden you're a mile from shore, right? There's a potential here for you to be sucked in, and that would be very hard for you to extricate yourself from. It's not something that you have a lot of experience. You just won't be very good at it, because you'll love the grandbaby and you'll want to help, and before you know it, you're in way over your head and you don't have a life, and I have had so many clients when I did readings that were in this position. It starts out very innocently, and then 3 years later, you're like a nanny. I mean, you're like basically a full-time parent. And then moving means you don't have any friends. So your only friends are your family. It's just very isolating. Okay. So if you're going to do it, you really have to step into it with a lot of boundaries, and then make yourself, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're a super, super, super outgoing person. So you might have to make yourself join groups or get friends, so there's balance, right? So you can do it, and I think it'd be beautiful for your grandson, but I think there's risk there for you to be overextended. What do you think, Aubrey?
Well, actually, I agree. I agree with everything you said. I do think it's a yes. I do think you will be happy in the long term. You'll be happy to be near your grandson, to be able to play such an active role in his life. And, it's a beautiful thing for people to have close relationships with their grandparents. So I think it will bring you joy, but I agree with Susan that you need to be careful around it and to make sure that you do have a life going on outside of just like family stuff. And I'm curious if that is your default, or if you feel like, no, I would be so happy to just like be there all the time and helping and like doing the things. And you might in the beginning, that might feel awesome, right? But in the long term, maybe we do need some boundaries, right? Maybe we do need other things going on that isn't just um is this your daughter? Is it your daughter-in-law and your grandson? And again, I think it could be a very beautiful, supportive thing. But yeah, let's not get swept out to sea, as Susan said.
It just happens so gently, like you just don't realize it's happening.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's your daughter. Okay. Yeah, you
yeah,
nailed it.
that's what I thought. Mhm.
Um, yeah, just keep your eyes open and try to create space. Try to say, well, I can't do it Thursday. Just try to have some selfhood is what the guides are saying. Try to keep your own autonomy in this
Mm,
situation,
mhm.
because as new parents, they're going to just really want to rely on you. Um, there seems like it could be rocky, like there's some kind of discord or something. So
Yeah, I think your grandson will love
yeah,
having you around. Like
yes,
that feels
that's
like,
going.
especially if you do stay there for like years and years and years, and as he's like getting older, it actually feels like, yeah, oh my gosh, I'm like getting goosebumps from that. It feels
Yeah.
so sweet. It really feels so sweet to me, honestly. Like I think he is just going to adore you. I think as he gets older, he will really value your relationship. I actually also think that as he gets older, he is going to want to like show up and take care of you.
Aw.
Yeah.
But they have a very unique energy connection. You and this
Mhm,
grandson are
mhm.
like magnets connected.
Yeah, I think he's gonna feel very protective over you. He's obviously, like I said, I think he's really going to value you. And I think he's almost gonna like take on, like I said, this role where like almost as like a teenager. And as he's like getting older, he's just gonna be like, I gotta go to grandma's and I gotta take care of her. And like he's gonna come over and cook for you, and he's gonna be like, "Do you need anything?" And he's gonna be like bringing you things. And so like
Wow.
I really think, as much as your guides might be like, "Oh, you still need to take care of yourself and you still need to like whatever," I feel like it's not about you and your daughter, actually. I feel like it really is about you and your grandson.
Well, it's about her and her grandson, but you can't take the daughter out of it. And
No, for sure.
there's
Absolutely.
a little something going on there
Sure.
that's gonna make it difficult. So I love everything Aubrey said, and I think it's so important because that's what happens. You
Mm.
you have this magnetic connection, and guess what? The parents can see that. And then there becomes a little jealousy, there becomes
Mhm.
a little so
I
these
do think she will be jealous. Yes, I do.
I've been down this path so many times with my past clients. I can see it coming like a train in the so how I think you deal with it is you make them understand you're not trying to take over anything. You're not trying to be best grandma of the world. You're just there to help out on occasion and try to keep that connection you have with your grandson private between you guys. Um,
Agree.
and
Yeah.
I think if you do that, you can evade a whole lot of heartache that doesn't need to happen, but you will have to arrive in that city and create a life for yourself. And I think that's a whole nother, it's just a lot to ask, right? Not
Mm.
impossible. I think it's your highest path, to be honest with you. I think it is your highest path. But our highest path is like climbing a mountain. It's not easy, right? So
Yeah.
just keep those things in mind and try to remember I need to join a group, join a couple of groups that you can just get out of the house and have some kind of personality life outside of that family, and it'll do everything for you.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
All righty, let's do a few more. I'm going to go till for another 10 minutes. We've been going for an hour and a half. Can you believe that, Aubrey?
Yes, I can.
Are you getting tired a little bit?
No, I know. I love it.
I know that when you're channeling like this, energized by not us. But afterwards, we're like, what just happened? Right. But right now, I could probably go for 3 hours, and I bet she could too. But
Yeah.
I know better because I get the after effect, right?
Yeah.
You learn that, like, whoa, that was a lot. Okay. And there's still almost 500 of you, and I wish I could answer all of these questions. I see you, and I want to help you. Let's try to do some quick ones, if we can. Let's just try to be quick. Terry and Aubrey. Terry says, Susan Aubrey, am I a medium? I'm going to say yes. What are you going to say? Yes. And we wouldn't just tell you that, honestly. So what I might suggest you do is read some books, maybe take a class. You can even read memoirs about mediums just to see how they became a medium or what happened. I find that when I read memoirs about people, that it helps me. I'm like, oh, I'm like that, or oh, it really kind of loosens up all this stuff, right? So, but yeah, I think you are. Anything else you want to tell Terry?
I agree with you. I think there needs to be some kind of like structure right now around that, or like more knowledge around like, what does that mean? What can I do with it? Things like that. But yes, I think you're medium. Yeah.
Super. That's cool, Terry. Congratulations. You're a medium. Terry's probably been talking to ghosts their whole life. Okay. Let's see. Shelly says, should my wife and I move to Washington State or Colorado? Again, you got to use your own discernment. We're just going to give you what we're getting. I'm leaning more towards Washington State. Where are you leaning?
I actually think they're both fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes.
Yeah, I think they're both fine. I think they both offer different things, of course. I think Washington State feels more cozy, right? Like it feels like a little more like a home, and like we maybe like feel like we fit in better. In Washington State, I think if you were to come to Colorado, that's where I live. If you were to come to Colorado, I think it's like it feels more adventurous to me if the two of you were to come here, and you would be living like a very different lifestyles in the two states. So I think it's a matter of kind of like, when the two of you think about like, oh, what do we want our life to look like, and what are we interested in doing, and whatever, like that's kind of more the determining factor for me.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. And Colorado is sunny. Washington State is going to be much, doomier, gloomier, but also greener. They're very different. And I'm wondering if one of you is leaning towards Colorado and the other is leaning towards Washington State, because I feel like that might be a thing too. So I like the way Aubrey described it. It's cozy and it's more adventure, and also you can move again, maybe not buy your dream house, maybe spend a year renting or something to just try it out before you jump in with, everything.
Yeah, like I will say I do see the two of you like vacationing in Colorado. If you ultimately decide on Washington State, and maybe after you come here a few times and you're like spending time in the different seasons and checking out the different places and whatever, then maybe you do ultimately move to Colorado. But actually, now that we're saying this out loud, I feel like you will move to Colorado later down the road. Like it really feels actually kind of like Washington State. Like I said, it feels very like cozy and homey, and like you love it. Okay. And we're vacationing in Colorado, but I think, maybe one of you is like more married to Colorado than the other. And it's going to take time, like visiting and doing things and exploring to kind of like talk the other one of you into it.
Right. So you don't have to choose. You can live in Washington State and end up moving to Colorado 5 or 10 years later. I think this energy we're in now in general is about pivoting, is about allowing change, not locking down on something so much that it just crumbles in our hands, right? If we allow ourselves to change and to move and to adapt, we're going to get through this life a lot quicker, a lot easier, and have more fun. Okay. I'm going to, let's see, wait a minute. I'm going to try to read this. Miss Messy says, my special sons have appointments tomorrow and Friday. Is what their father did going to affect them getting services? So I'm just going to say this, like, maybe I could shorten this to say, will they get the services? Like, I know to you it matters that what their dad did, but I need to just try to streamline this for Spirit. I feel like personally what I'm getting is I feel like their services are going to be attenuated, which I think means shortened or is somehow maybe changed a little bit. But I think that you're tenacious. I think you're a tenacious person, and I think that you don't take no when it comes to your kids as an answer. I think that you have learned how to do that, and I think you'll go around whatever obstacle is in your way. Like it might take you a while, but you'll do it. So I think that I feel like there could be a change in the services, but instead of getting maybe destroyed, instead of getting super upset about it and blaming him, I would take some deep breaths, center yourself, just push that out of the way and think about what's my next step, right? Like, this is not the end, just what is my next step? What do you think, Aubrey?
I do think ultimately they will get the services. I'm not, obviously I have no idea what this means and what their dad has done. I agree about the tenacity and you not taking no as an answer and all of those things. I also think whoever it is at like this office that's meeting with them during their appointments, they believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever that means. Like, they believe that like your children need whatever it is that these appointments are for, and they will help you, but you need to like talk to them and share your concern with them about whatever it is that dad did. And
Dad's older disability for 5 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, there's going to be somebody who believes you and is going to help you and kind of like help you advocate for yourself. I think they will advocate for you and your sons as much as they can. And yeah, it might be a pain in the butt. But I also think that once they kind of know like what's going on, that is also going to change the situation. And like I said, I do think they will ultimately end up with what they need.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to be like mama bear about it and tell them, right? Like, tell them what's going on. You have to advocate for your sons.
Right. And everything Aubrey said, 100,000%. I just want you to know this too. If these people look at you and they say, I can't do it, I'm not allowed or whatever, know that they're saying the words because they have to, but in the background, they're going to do what they can to fight for you. Mm-hmm. So even if they look like they're presenting a wall, it's not really a wall. They're just doing what they have to do. They're actually going to go behind the scenes and be like, yeah, I need a favor, right? Mm-hmm. So that's stuff that you won't see, you won't know, but I do believe it's happening. And you may not even ever put that together or know that for sure. But I feel like Aubrey said, they're going to get this money. They're going to get what they need to get. They're going to be made whole. Restitution is what the guides just said. Maybe it's going to take a little bit. But try not to focus on him because that's the problem. He's going to drain you of your that anger that could be spent in figuring out a way around this problem is going to go towards him, and then it's going to make you madder and angrier and despondent and just write him off. Write him off. Don't give him the time of day. Take care of yourself. Breathe. Center yourself. Get calm. Get focused. Then go on, the direction you need to go in.
I completely agree with that. And I do think he will get his in the end.
Going to get his.
I do think he will get his in the end, but I agree. Continuing to focus on him and making it about him is not.
It's not the way. It's not the way. It even if you're like he should be held accountable or whatever, it's not the way. Oh, your sons don't know yet. That's
okay.
I don't know that they need to know. I mean, I just feel like he is the wrong direction. Like, just keep it focused on going forward. And I'm sorry, this is slightly disrespectful, but he's stupid. The guides are like, he's not very smart. So this guy is actually doing other things that I think could get him in trouble with other government agencies, maybe the IRS, allegedly, something like
I
that.
think
So
too.
this guy's got a world of hurt coming down on him that you couldn't begin to do to him. He's done it to himself, and it's all crashing down on him. So just get some space from him, and the karma bus that's coming from him, let that hit him. That's none of your business. You just go this way, and you're going to be fine.
I do want to say, I completely agree with this. Pardon my language, like, fuck this guy, okay? However, your anger is righteous, okay? I want you to know that. And it's not that I don't think either one of us are telling you to not be angry, okay? Or to like stop being angry or anything
Right.
like that. I actually think like,
over there.
right. And like use your anger to fuel what it is that you need to do to take care of your boys and to make them whole and to just whatever it is that makes it right. Use your anger for that, not him.
Your boys are going to be fine. I just don't have any. Your boys are protected. When I go
Yeah.
into their energy, I don't know what kind of things you called in, girl, but you got some big protective angelic energy, like the 8 foot tall angels. I don't know what kind of thing you got going on, but I'm not worried about your boys. Your boys are okay.
Mhm.
I think they're going to traverse this much easier than you are.
I agree. I agree with that.
I think that's why I say, like, take some deep breaths and get centered so you can use all that energy to help them. Because I feel like now that you know the game, now you know what's up, you're going to actually get more help for the boys, and you're going to get more help for you, and you're going to learn how to navigate the system, and you're going to get plugged in. And I just, you know, I'm not worried about them. Will they be mad at some point, or will they be let down at some point? Potentially, yes. But for the most part, I think they're boys, and I think they're just living day by day.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. And yeah, there might come a point where their relationship with their dad has issues, but it's because of him.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do something stupid. Like, I mean, he already has, but like he's gonna like do something stupid to them directly that they're gonna like understand. But I agree. I think your boys are totally fine. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. And I don't blame you for. I'm not trying to say you should be worried, or we're not trying to belittle your worry or your anger, because you are the mama bear. I understand it. We're trying to encourage you that everything is going to be okay, and you can relax a little bit, right? Because we need you to be well. We need you to be sharp and well, and that's why I keep saying, take some deep breaths and take care of yourself, because you are their mom. You've got to get them through this, right? So we need you to take care of yourself, and if you get so impacted by this and frazzled by this, it's going to impact your health, and then you've got more things to worry about. We don't want that, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to answer this question. SB says peace and love, question on health. Okay, thank you, SB. I'm going to we'll end up with this, but I have to find it because there's a whole bunch of questions here. I will answer, because peace and love is your name. Peace and love. Peace and love. Would you please put your question in the chat again, if you don't mind? I'll try to find it, but there's like, a lot of comments here, like hundreds. So it's kind of hard
Can
to
I
find.
see the comments? Oh, I can. Oh my God, I can see the comments.
God bless you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're totally
And
fine.
next time I need to make you a co-host so that you can click and bring them over too.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't know you could.
Oh my God, please.
Oh, 444 on your phone. That's okay. All right. Peace and love. Okay. Thank you, SB. All right. And thank you, peace and love. Okay. I was turned down for a lung transplant. Now what? Okay. That's a pretty big thing.
Yes,
I do see some treatments. I don't know, maybe you're already getting treatments, right? But I do see some treatments that could buy you time. I think you could get an opportunity at another lung. Even if they said that's it, like, you're turned down, you're turned down, I would tell you that nothing is really ever final, that it could be an experimental thing, or it could be a change in the administration at the hospital. I mean, anything can happen, right? So I do feel like, but I don't know what these treatments that I'm seeing. What are you getting, Aubrey?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm really sorry that this happened. I am going to be honest with you that this feels like a very heavy, it's a difficult thing. And I do think that it will be difficult for a while. I agree that there are treatments and some other avenues that are still available to you. Um, is it a cure all? No. Is it, a long term solution? No. But I do think they are worth pursuing right now. As Susan said, to kind of buy you some time. I of course am curious why you got turned down for the lung transplant, even though it's literally none of my business. But I just, I'm curious about the reason, because that will affect your ability to like get back on the donor list for another lung transplant. I do think you will ultimately like go back on that list, or whatever that means in that world. Okay. And I do think there will be another opportunity for that to happen, but I think it's going to take a while. And I think you're going to have to pursue these treatments and figure out what is going to maintain you, right? And kind of like your BMI is too low. Okay, so you need to gain weight. You need to gain weight for your transplant. That's interesting. Okay, that actually, I'm glad to know that that is the reason, because it's something that can be overcome, right? Like you absolutely can gain weight. That might be part of this like journey, right? Is figuring like, what do I need to do to gain weight? I think you probably struggle to put weight on, but I don't know if this sounds insane to you, okay? But I'm like, protein shakes, protein bars, like you can pack so much stuff into those things to help you put on the weight, right? Obviously, like a doctor slash nutritionist is really going to be the one to guide you in that. But I think that I do think that there is a solution available to you. And at the same time, I do think the foreseeable future, right, the next 3 to 4 months feels tough.
It feels hard, uphill, slippery, like trying to walk uphill, slippery. I don't know if you like peanut butter. If you
Right.
like peanut butter, they're saying peanut butter milkshake, which is something I used to eat when I was a kid, actually. So, but when you say people can gain weight, I do know people that struggle with gaining weight.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not that easy, right?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they struggle to gain weight.
Yeah. So I feel like peanut butter. I don't know why. I know you want a peanut butter milkshake, right? I agree with Aubrey. I think that it's about buying time. It's about buying yourself enough time to get the weight on, to get your metabolic. Is there something going on with your metabolic? You know what I mean? With how you metabolize food? Because it seems like they're saying there's a metabolic thing here that's not being regulated. So that to me means perhaps maybe you could go back to a doctor, like she mentioned, a nutritionist, and see if there's something you can take, to help you metabolize the calories better. But I feel like if you can buy the time, which I think you can, the other thing I would say to you is, and this is, I can only imagine this is like really, really hard to do. But if you can spend some time convincing yourself you're okay, if you can spend some time sending love to your lungs, if you can just lay on the couch and send love to your lungs, to your heart, to your body. If you could lay on the couch and listen to meditations about love, about loving your body, about health, about sending, Reiki, sending energy to your body. So what happens is, for one thing, you step out of the 3D, you step out of the worry, you step out of the panicky worry energy, and you're into healing energy, and you're into love energy. And that's a beautiful respite for your psyche, for your physical body, for everything. And it also opens that door for guidance to come through, right? That's when you can, after you've done that every day for 5 days in a row, you can start getting those aha moments, right? Oh, right, this nurse mentioned something, I forgot about it, let me go back and double check it, right? So I think that's going to help you buy this time, is loving your, and this goes for all of us, right? Like, all of us send love to the area that you have pain in, or that is not working.
I'm curious if you have like a nebulizer at home. If you, I don't know if you're on oxygen, if you're on steroids, like if they have you on like prednisone all the time, or, all these different inhalers, maybe that's like part of the treatment that is coming, is like having something, more at home and not just like office visits. But it is absolutely so important for you to, whatever, I was referred to a different hospital. Okay. Um, is it only the hospital that you're getting treated at, or like are you going to like a respiratory specialist? Because like I said, I think there has to be something that is at home for you if it's not already. And it is so important, of course, for you to focus on like your breathing and whatever it is that means. You're going to find out over the next few months to really improve that. And I think, yeah, if you don't have something at home like a nebulizer, like you need one. Do you live with someone who smokes?
Could be somebody in spirit that you're picking up.
Yeah.
Why do you ask that?
Well, just because I don't know if you used to smoke or you live with somebody that smokes or what, but being around that is definitely not.
That is not a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Mayo Clinic. Okay, we love the Mayo Clinic. All
No
treatments and
smokers.
physical therapy. Okay.
No smokers.
No
But
smokers.
here's
Thank
the
God.
thing. But there's an environmental. See, again, Aubrey picked up smoking, but what I think she was really picking up was environment. So your lung is the filter, right? So if you've got lots of dust or dust mites or pet hair or lots of carpeting, right, where
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of things can accumulate, your lungs are working harder. So I think what Aubrey was really picking up was your lungs are working harder. Maybe you live in a place where it's moldy, or the leaf is moldy. Maybe you live in a place that's just, the air is just not that
Mm-hmm.
great, right? So she keeps bringing up your home and your home environment. So I'm gonna say, get an ionizer, get an air purifier,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
get a super clean, like, get your house super clean. Be careful around using any chemicals like Windex or anything that's got any kind of chemical in it, because your lungs cannot handle this. What we're trying to do here is buy you some time. We're trying to give your lungs a respite. We're trying to give you time to put weight on. This is a critical period of time right now. So I want you to do everything you can to give your lungs the chance that they need, right? Which means offload a lot of these things, right? You have several air purifiers and no pets. Okay. Now that doesn't mean, believe me when I say this is not my first rodeo, that doesn't mean that there's not mold hidden somewhere, or there's not some kind of environment, because I think Aubrey's picking up environment. I'm picking up environment. So not, luckily most of the things you've X'd off. So that's great,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aubrey.
Well, I'm just okay. Like part of me is like, do you need like a diffuser or like my God, what are the things that you turn a humidifier? That's what it is. That, you put like eucalyptus or like peppermint and these things that open the lungs, right? That are really good for like opening the lungs. Also, I'm curious if you live in the city or if you're actually out in like a rural area. Um, I have
Arizona. Home is
live
new
in
and
Arizona. Oh,
Arizona.
you're in the desert. There's so much dust in the desert. Oh my God. Okay. If it is possible, and I recognize maybe it's not, but if it is possible, going somewhere where
Oh,
the
she lives in
air,
the mountains of Arizona. Okay.
well, okay, the air is thin in the
Yeah.
mountains.
There's an environmental thing here, whether it's
Like, I know, I'm like, I
mold
need you to
or
like go to the beach.
oh, you
We're
need
at
her to go to the
sea.
beach
Well,
early.
but
That's
something
nice.
like I said, I recognize maybe this is not possible, but if you could just like take a trip somewhere where it's open, right? Like we're not in like a big city. It's open. The air is just like, you know what I mean? And like if we're at sea level, there's more air available to us.
That's true.
Because
She's on a
I
mountain.
live a mile high in Denver. Okay. I've lived
Yeah.
in Colorado my entire life. Like I know about the air situation. Being up in the mountains in elevation is not.
Yeah. There's something environmental. I think it's so interesting because, back in the day, right, they used to go to the ocean for fresh air. That was actually a
Right.
prescription, right? So I don't know if that's possible for you, but if it is, you may consider it. There is an environmental. It's not. Let me see this. It's not going to fix everything. I don't want you to think that
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's not. We're trying to parse apart this. We're trying to undo the knot. We're just pulling strings out to undo the knot. One of the strings is environment. So that's just one of the things, right? Another is to meditate and send love to your lungs. The other is to put on some weight. And then after you do those things, I'd go back to that other hospital and put yourself out there to get that. I feel like if you do this work, especially loving yourself, that I think you're going to have a pretty good chance of getting on another lung transplant list. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree that. Sorry, I'm not trying to like beat you up. I'm just like, I want to solve this for you. But I agree that being very gentle, so gentle
Yeah.
with yourself and your body, it's got to be.
I'm sorry you're terrified, peace and love. I get it, but that I want you to when you say that, I want you to say I am safe, I am loved. We're going to transmute the fear into power because fear takes away your power. We don't want to be powerless right now, right? So we're going to say, I am scared, I am afraid, but I love myself. I am going to be okay. I am safe. I want you to just try to comfort yourself.
Also, I want you to read through some of these comments that people are saying. Kelly says Temple Lung Center in Philadelphia. People are talking about mullein leaf is like a tea. A mullein leaf tea is good for the lungs. Like, yeah, people are throwing, and someone else said Arizona has a high allergy rate. Absolutely. So read through some of those comments because I think people also have like they're trying to help. We all want to help you.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. For sure. There's lots of, when I have my cold, there's this thing called lung clear. There's a lot of things that you can just get on Amazon that are really good for your lungs. Now, this is not medical advice. We're not doctors. We want you
Right.
to contact your doctor. We want you
Yes.
to get this information from your doctor. But there are things that could potentially homeopathically help you get to a little bit stable position where you can get that lung transplant. But part of it is your own mindset. If you know what I mean, you really have to kind of help yourself by dealing with this mindset of fear and just I am okay, I am safe, you're breathing right now, I'm alive right now, I'm safe right now, right? It's not easy. I'm so sorry that you're going
No,
through this.
it's
I can
Siobhan.
imagine that it is scary.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
totally see that. But I think Aubrey's right. There's so many great comments. That's what I love about YouTube, because you guys show up for each other in the comments, you cheer each other on, you cry on each other's shoulder, you give each other advice. It's really a beautiful community that we
Mhm.
have here. And you guys all show up willing to help each other. And I just love that. I'm so grateful for you.
Mhm. Also, my last thought here, like I said, there's so many good suggestions. And no, we're not doctors. Please, please, please go to the doctor. But even cough drops, right? Like even if you just are sucking on a cough drop, those have that like menthol in them that again want to like open up the chest, open up the lungs. And that's like that's what I keep like, it's like that's what just keeps coming through for me is like this
Yeah.
cool, and it's something that helps to open them up, and you can take those kind of like deeper breaths, and like it just really feels like that's like your body's like, please, you know what I mean? But I really, really, really hope that whatever these treatments are, at the Mayo Clinic, or you're at a specialist or whatever, I hope that they are helpful for you. And I really am so very sorry that you got denied the transplant. Like I said, it is a very genuinely difficult, scary thing. But I think buying yourself time, finding a few things, if it's homeopathic, if it's a prescription, if it's both, that you're like, okay, it's feeling like it's supporting my lungs, more. I do think it will buy you the time you need. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. We're sending you hugs and prayers and
Yeah.
support, dear. Take really good care. And thank you, SB, for asking me to read for her. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Again, if you're interested in getting a reading from this amazing person, Aubrey, please look her up. Her information has been in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. You can copy it and paste it. She is offering some readings right now. So you can see how good she is. She's amazing, honestly, truly amazing. She's also an astrologer. So if you want your astrology done, I've had all the readings from her. She's amazing. I'm telling you right now, right? Like seriously, top of the line. And take really good care of yourself. We're going to get through this. Our community's together. We stand together. We're going to get through this together. And we'll see you again really soon. Okay, everybody? Take really good care of yourselves.
Thank you, everybody. Love you. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Susan, you're the best. I just love you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Aubrey. Thanks, everybody.